Welcome back to Night Flight. I'm Judith Quoba, and Maxine Taylor is with me today. And she's going to talk about the two solar eclipses that are coming up in December and January and what to expect. Her website is maxinetaylor.com. She has also written books. Everything will be linked below as usual. So, Maxine, welcome. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great to be back with you again. I hope your audience is good with two women just sitting here having a good time and laughing and enjoying each other's company, because that's pretty much how my life is. If you can't have fun,
Yeah,
you know. The only time I'm serious is when I do somebody's chart, because I take their lives very seriously. So
yeah. So
yes.
before we jump into the solar eclipses, I stumbled on an article today that said, here are 5 tips how to survive the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. There's a lot of hype out there. And I would, because we had another one like that, I guess in 1982 or something.
We had it. We had Saturn, Pluto, South Node earlier this year, in 2019. Possibly, I lose track of years. I don't know about you. As an astrologer, they all kind of run together, and they're attached by the aspects. But I did a whole series on my I did a big video on my YouTube channel on Saturn, Pluto, South Node, because people were saying the sky is falling, Chicken Little, the sky is falling. And I'm not trying to gloss over the power of that, but it's still operative. And I personally have found it to be the cosmic kick in the butt that I needed to move forward. And I'm loving it. I'm probably the only astrologer on the planet saying that. But, you know, when I was younger, things were either fabulous or terrible. And I wasn't as balanced and centered and happy as I've gotten older, because I know that life is a movie and I'm watching the movie of my life with the people in it. Thank you for getting a starring role in my movie. And so I use the planetary aspects to grow. I don't get scared when I see Saturn, because I'm a very positive astrologer. I'm a very positive person. We have a choice to interpret the planets negatively, which many astrologers do, or understand that we have choice. We can choose in every single moment, since we're the creators of our lives, how we're going to react to this. And if we dig our heels in and say, no, I don't like that aspect, I'm not going with it, well, just sit and listen to God laughing and our spirit guides laughing at us, because it's like, listen, this is what's going on in your chart. Now, if you don't like it and you refuse it, it's still going on, kid. You know what I'm saying? So you might just as well grow up, because that's Saturn. That's, you grow up. Excuse me, I'm not balanced here. I have a Libra ascendant. Okay, there we go. It's going on. And we have set these charts, these birth charts, these movies, these stories, these game plans into motion when we took our first breath. We decided prior to incarnating what our movie, our story was going to be. So to fight against something that we want for our own personal amusement, and growth, because even the horrible, quote unquote, things have a silver lining. There is a gift in everything. And the gift is very often moving forward, getting off the couch, putting the remote down, figuratively or literally, and moving forward with our mission here on planet Earth. And in the next year, 2020, it's a vitally important time that this is my opinion, that everybody know what their mission here is. And if I may plug one of the things I do, I help people get their life's mission because I saw how it changed my life. And I've written about it in my book, Move Into the Magic. I'm pointing to it now. If you know what your reason for being here, your raison d'être, what your purpose, your mission, your calling is, you can follow that path and you're less distracted and diverted by what's going on in the world. And sometimes it's tragedies. And you say they're very hard to deal with. I'm not making light of them. You look for the blessing in it, because if it's in your life, you want it. If it's not in your life, you don't. And I remember saying that to my mother when she was alive. And she went through a very difficult situation. And she said, well, I didn't want that. And I said, believe it or not, you did. Not because you wanted the problem, but because you wanted the solution. You wanted the gift for your own personal spiritual growth. And that's exactly what well, I shouldn't say exactly, but it did transpire. So I realized, okay, I can fight it, try and control it, and all the angels in heaven are laughing when you know, Pluto, the planet of control. Ha, ha, ha. Joke's on us. And if you go, instead of control, for example, with Pluto, but transformation and transmutation, wow. You have taken a quantum leap forward in your own personal spiritual growth, in my opinion, because I've done that, and I have clients who have done that, and girlfriends who have done that. And it really is worth whatever you have to go through. And some of these tragedies are unthinkable, and yet there is a gift that comes out of them. So, gosh, you asked a simple question and I just ran off at the mouth.
No, I know that you have usually a very positive take on things, and that is why I asked that question, because I don't like to buy into that hype. Oh, we're all going to die, the sky is going to fall, ba, 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 ba. Yeah.
Yeah. And there are a lot of people a lot of our colleagues, I consider you an astrological colleague, get angry with happy people or with people who take a positive outlook on life. Misery loves company. And that's what it is. And that is a very, very difficult thing to deal with when you are an empath. I know you found that to be true. I found that to be true. And those of you in the audience who are empathic, you know you can't go to the mall because you're picking up on everybody. And you think it's you that's making you totally exhausted. No, no, no. It's the energy of the people around you. And so I find the older I get, the more difficult it is for me to be with people who are negative. And I mean, seriously negative. They literally drain the life out of me.
And that is so true.
I know I'm preaching to the choir, and so a lot of the people in your audience are in the same position. We've all been, in the position of going, let's say, up to somebody's house, and they're throwing a party, and we're all excited, and we get to the door, and we think, ooh, we're just, terrible. Or just, ooh, something's wrong. Well, you're picking up on somebody at the party because it only takes one to be a downer. um, and I've had some funny stories with people who are such downers and they don't know that they are. And I thought, anyhow, we've all been there. So I realized, excuse me, constant. Mercury's retrograde, nothing's clicking, I realized I have a choice. Yeah. And so I said to Source, to Spirit, to God, send me my own kind. And I got an interesting answer. God said, everyone is your own kind. Because we are one. We are one. What happens in one country affects another. What happens to one person touches another. So I said, all right, let me rephrase that. Send me the people who want what I have to offer and who love me and appreciate me. Well, you got to watch out what you ask for, because it just started raining down on me, loving, beautiful people. And there were not enough hours there still are not enough hours in the day to be with all of the people I would love to be with, because now all I attract are my own kind. And it's heaven, heaven on earth. So.
Yeah, but you said something that before we started recording, that the first half of 2020, all hell will break loose. What did you mean by that?
The second half of 2020, all hell is going to break loose.
Or the second half. Oh, okay.
The second half, yes. The first half, we are, okay, hold that thought and remind me, because I want to lead up to that, if I may.
Okay, sure.
I don't want to just drop it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep, please remind Maxine what she said.
Yeah. Okay. So then you start with the solar eclipses, yeah?
Okay. Well, I'm even going to start before that and just tell all light workers, all star seeds, all walk-ins, all healers. We are now in serious, when I mean serious, I mean wonderful. Mercury's retrograde and my lips are not working as a team. Can you tell? Serious preparation time for 2020, particularly the second half, when I am encouraging every one of you, us, to step forward and claim our talents, claim our place in this new planet that we are creating. Because this is what I see happening, at least in my world. We have an opportunity here in the United States, for example, but all over the world, to rebuild. Anything that has been broken, anything that isn't working, any negativity, things will come to a tipping point. And this then is the moment, or that then is the moment in 2020 that we have prepared for, to step forward into our true identity of light and be the leaders in our own sphere of influence that bring about love, peace, respect, truth, health, and abundance for all. And that is what I want to do. It is my intention to contribute. And everyone I've met who is a light worker feels the same way. So, with that in mind, we have earth changes, we've got climate change, we've got crazy people in government in many places. I mean, seriously, cray. Seriously. And we have opportunities. So, what Judith is talking about is one of my favorite things to talk about, which are the eclipses. Because whenever we have an eclipse, they kick butt. I call them the cosmic butt kickers. Now, when I say that, I don't mean that they make anything happen. The planets don't make us do anything. They reflect where we are at. They reflect our spiritual and earthly evolution. So when I say they trigger things, you put air quotes around it because you are in charge of your life. So we've got a solar eclipse December 26th of this year, and a lunar eclipse, which is a full moon, on January 10th of 2020. They occur in pairs usually, or triplets. And there's a big one coming up the second half of 2020. 3 eclipses. Boom, boom, boom. So let me just talk about the solar eclipse. Now, we are at the time of this recording, and this recording is going to go in perpetuity. So Mercury is retrograde. As I mentioned, my lips are not working as a team. The brain and the mouth, you know, are going in different directions. And that's just what happens during a retrograde Mercury. Mercury will go direct on the 21st of November. However, we have a shadow of the retrograde Mercury, usually for 2 or 3 weeks prior to the time it goes retrograde and after. And that's always a shock to some people. They don't know it. I have a video on YouTube that explains it because I want to give the eclipse for how the eclipse affects everybody. But it's called Mercury Retrograde, the prequel and the sequel. Check that out. Okay, now, so December 8th, we're out of the shadow. December 26th, the day after Christmas, we have a solar eclipse. And we're going to feel it at least a week ahead. Okay? That's what I've seen. It's like the eclipse says, okay, get ready, I'm coming. It starts announcing itself. And people start feeling it. All the empaths start going, what's going on? Because they're feeling it. So I'm going to describe what it triggers in all 12 signs. Now, this does not replace a complete forecast for you, but it'll really help you understand what all's going to be going on. Aries, your career, your public image it just comes alive. Now, on a solar eclipse, it's like a new moon. It's a time of beginnings. As far as I'm concerned, an eclipse is an eclipse. I don't care. It shoots you forward. And we find that eclipses are strongest 3 to 4 months after they occur. Now, some people interpret an eclipse for years, as many years as the eclipse lasts, hours. That is just too negative. I've had some horrible eclipses. I don't want them for years. So on this gorgeous solar eclipse, which is in 4 degrees of Capricorn, Aries, your career starts moving forward. So it's time for you to take upward motion, upward movement, claim your leadership role, speak to people in authority who can help you move upward. No more lateral moves, straight upward. Taurus, you're going to be seeing a much larger picture. This eclipse opens your eyes to things you didn't even know were available to you. And being the practical, logical sign, first of the earth signs, very practical. You're thinking of food, you're thinking of shelter, you're thinking of money. This is going to help you develop, if you choose, a whole new philosophy of life, which is great. And you say, well, Aries is moving up in their career. I'd like to do that. Well, look and see then your options that are going to be open to you. Don't feel, that just because Aries is moving up, they're the only ones who can. That is not so. Higher education is what's triggered at this point in time. So were you thinking of maybe taking an advanced course? Were you thinking of traveling outside your country? Do it. Gemini, this is a very powerful placement for Gemini. Number one, on a mundane level, you can help other people get their act together, particularly financially. Do you own stocks? You may find that they finally bear fruit. Yay! You've waited and waited and waited. So, but most importantly, this eclipse for Gemini is a time of transformation, personal, egoic transformation. It's fabulous. Now, when we undergo a transformation, we usually want some privacy because we're questioning who we are and what we are and where we're going. And this time will be no different for you, Gemini. And so that is what you're going to be allowed to peer into. All the secrets of life, primarily yours, and how you interact with other people. It kind of gives me goosebumps to tell you that. It's really wonderful. So your ego is undergoing a transformation at that time. And some of you are saying, well, it's about time, And Taurus says, yeah, I'm still looking at the travel. And you should deal with your own sign. Cancerians. This is a beautiful time to get out there and interact with other people. Put your attention on others. A Cancer tends to be a very sensitive, self-protective sign. And if we're feeling self-protective, we're focused on self. And what that does for me is it only gets me more self-absorbed. I don't know about you, but I need to get away from myself, away from my ego. And this gives Cancerians the opportunity to do just that. It's wonderful. If you're married or partnered, you're going to give that person your attention. Why? Because they're putting their attention on themselves, so you might as well hop on the bandwagon and you'll enjoy yourself more. You'll feel needed. You'll feel like a team, a one-on-one team. If you're in the limelight, this is a time to go out and deal with the public. I'm thinking of politicians. You know how they tour the country that they're in, or the state, or whatever they're running for. They get out there and be with people. Cancerians, get out there and be with people. Leo, I've got to say great, grand, glorious Leo, because that is Leo. The party does not begin until Leo arrives. Leo will basically make an entrance everywhere, which is great because we're in for fun then. Here they are. They're going to just shine. So Leo, what's so great about this is that you can get down to work. You say, work? I'm the sign of fun. Yeah, but there's a lot that you can do at your job that will be incredibly helpful to you. It's a planting of seeds. On the new moon, we plant the seeds. But this is a solar eclipse. It's not just a new moon. And so you are ready to get out there and get down to business. Cross those T's, dot those I's, focus on your job and your health. This is winter time that we're talking about. And It's right after Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's. And here in the United States, we have Thanksgiving, then Christmas. It's time for Weight Watchers after the holidays. You just have made a pig of yourself, and you've got to get down to fighting weight. And Leo, you'll be able to get thee to a gym, is what I always say. Now, Virgo, this is very interesting. Virgo is usually the worker. Leo is the one who knows how to play. Well, their roles on this eclipse are changed. And this is really cool. Virgo, it's time to have fun. And you may find yourself, if you have children, and I don't care what ages the children are, they're going to want your attention. They're going to want you to pay attention to them because they're paying attention to themselves. So Cancerians have spouse, partner, other people putting the light on themselves. And so, Virgo on the kids. Aries, you thought you were out of the mix. You're dealing with moving up in your career, but that's leadership, and that's the out front parent in your life, whether they are still with us or not. Because they were the first leader that showed you how to move upward in your own career. So other people always want a piece of us. Be aware of it. So Virgo says, okay, so I'm going to play and I'm going to enjoy myself. Yeah, you really can. And if the children are little, combine your social life with theirs. Just enjoy. Now, Virgo, you're a perfectionist. So find somebody else to set up and clean up. All right? You know what I mean. Libra. Libra, of course, you love balance and harmony and all things beautiful. Your home and family are very strongly triggered. Are you buying a house? Are you selling a house? Are you renovating? It's a time to nest. It's a time to create your own emotional security at home and be with family members if they live close by, or just stay home. I have found a lot of times, and you may have also, Judith, when the fourth house is triggered, it's not that you visit your family. It's not that you renovate. You just want to be at home, just snuggling in, which is, I think, beautiful. So home, family, real estate, and the nurturing parent. Aries had the out front parent wanting attention or with their thoughts going to them. This time, Libra, Aries, opposite sign that says the right thing at the right time to the right person. You'll be dealing with the nurturing parent and your own nurturing talent. Really nice. Well, I can see how that would work out the day after Christmas. Yes, you're going to be picking up Christmas papers and wrappings and all kind of stuff and cleaning up the house. A lot of people will have a party after Christmas just to celebrate. So, yes. Scorpio. Scorpio is, in my opinion, the most powerful sign of the entire zodiac. They rule transformation, transmutation, life and death, because everything is life and death to a Scorpio. I'm not making light of it. There is an intensity, there is a power that comes from Scorpios. And I think they incarnated as a Scorpio in order to learn the test in the use of power. And these the next year, a little over a year, will give you all an opportunity to test the limits of your power. I'm getting goosebumps. Very exciting. So, Scorpio, it's a time to communicate. Share your ideas. Are you writing a book? Do you have a blog? A YouTube channel? It is time for you to express your thoughts. Because when you learn something, it's deep. You don't always make small talk well, because you really want to get to the heart of the matter. I love that about Scorpio. It's all or nothing. So share your ideas. Now, you can be bored. So make sure that you have lots of little projects to be dealt with. Remember, we're going to have retrograde Mercury and Venus. No, not so much Venus, but Mercury will be retrograde during the time that this eclipse is at its peak and during its lifetime, so to speak, of activity. So, yeah, keep busy. Sagittarius, hey, you can create more money. Now, I got everybody's attention on that one. Everybody's thinking, where's my Sag? Where's Sag in my chart? Absolutely. You've got Sagittarius someplace in your chart. But if you are a Sagittarian, you can create more money. I can stop right there. You say, just don't say another word. Just let me bask in it. Yeah. Yeah, it's terrific. When I do my full moon ceremony, somebody always comes up with, I come up with mantras for people. And somebody always has wealth and money. And everybody there, that means 40 to 60 people are all looking at him. I want what he has. So your values are undergoing a change. And as you open yourself up to new streams of revenue or new values, just plain old new values, your money increases. And Capricorn, this eclipse is in your sign. And what this means is it's your turn to shine. That rhymes. I didn't mean it to, but it does. It's your turn to shine. And so whenever you have an eclipse in your sign, what I say is you're going to do what you want, when you want, how you want, because you want. And I'm adding, because you can. It's your turn. Go for it. You're putting your attention on yourself. What's wrong with that? Somebody's got to. And if you're looking for somebody out there to do it, don't be holding your breath. You do it. You do it. Get that you're fabulous. Get that you're good enough. And get your own worth. And step forward. Remember, we're stepping forward during the next, let's say 12 to 14 months. We're preparing now, and we're going to step forward in our true essence to help our beautiful planet. And you might just as well take the lead, because Capricorn traditionally is at the very, very top of the natural zodiac. And Capricorn, the mountain goat, says yes. And the view is magnificent for those of us with the eyes to appreciate it. And it's true. Aquarius, well, they broke the mold on Aquarians that no two are alike. That's what I've found. You are, first of all, you are so not from this planet. You are so your own person. Aquarians say, am I crazy or is the world crazy? Look around you, Aquarius. It is not you. This is a time for you to pull back, retreat, get your ducks in a row, as we say here in the South, South USA. Get your communion with God plugged in and don't let go. This is a time of meditating, listening within, and working behind the scenes, always on humanitarian projects, because that's you. That's how you are. And last but they're just not working as a team. Last but not least, Pisces. Pisces is our dreamer. Pisces says, I want to go to a costume party so I can dress up like Cleopatra. They just love costumes and music and beauty and all that. The only thing Pisces has to watch out for is escaping, because reality can be painful and our escapes can often be addictive. So make sure they're fun. And this eclipse on December 26th emphasizes not only your friends and the groups that you belong to, but being a friend. It brings out the humanitarian side in you, because both Virgo and Pisces want to serve. There is a spiritual service gene in every Piscean that says, I have a dream of the perfect day, the perfect person, and I just want to commune with that. So if you're not involved in a group that you're really crazy about, put it out to the universe, to the multiverse, that you want to be with people like yourself. And you will
Great
not
idea.
be alone. You know, loneliness is epidemic now, because more people are getting older, and it's very important that there be community, that there be communion and communication. So that's the first eclipse, the solar eclipse. We have a lunar eclipse, but I was wondering if you wanted to jump in here while you still have a chance to do it.
Yeah, you said that 2020, the second half, there will be a lot of, yeah, let's say tension.
Craziness. Why don't I do the January 10th eclipse and then move forward into that and explain why I'm saying that. Let's see what time.
Okay.
And I'll move along a little faster because I'm looking at the time and I know, we're on the clock here. January 10th is the full moon. That's when things come to a head. So this lunar eclipse, it's in 20 degrees of Cancer. Find 20 Cancer in your birth chart. That's where things come to a head. Aries, home, family, real estate. This is where the things come to a head. And this can mean that you finally find that dream house you've been looking for. See, an eclipse is not a bad thing. It just brings energy to a head. Is there a situation with your family that you'd really like resolved? Well, yes, it comes to a head, and it can come to a head by, going toe to toe. But this is your turn to create the home and family that you want. Taurus, you have such terrific ideas now. You've seen the big picture with the December 26th eclipse. It's time to express it. Blog it, write it, video it, teach it, share it. That's my suggestion. Gemini, woohoo! Now you create the money you want. Let me make a note to self. This is really good. Okay. Sagittarius got the money on the solar eclipse, and Gemini gets it on the lunar eclipse, because your values are changing and your finances can change, and this can be a good thing. Good thing. Cancerians, well, you get to do what you want, when you want, how you want, because you can. Need I say more? It's your turn. And there comes a time when it is our turn, and you gotta step forward. Leo, oh, you say, go away, world. I'm going off to the Bahamas. I'm just don't bother me. I'm going to be on a beach for a while, because you need to be alone. You need to be away from the craziness of the world and working more behind the scenes. So take time off. Virgo, your friends are so important to you, and you are going to be in a position of service to your friends in the organizations to which you belong. This gives you the opportunity to serve that you want and you need. Libra, remember back with that first solar eclipse, when Aries had the green light on career? It's your turn now. Move upward in your career. Be the leader. You will be a very balanced leader. Okay? You're a great intermediary. If you're offered a position as an intermediary between two warring parties, go for it. Scorpio, your philosophy of life, very strongly triggered. It's no longer about ideas, it's about concepts, principles. You'll take a stand for your principles. And anything that you take a stand for will come to a head for you. Sag, it's your turn to undergo personal transformation. I love it. I love it when that happens. That's when we take quantum leaps forward. Okay. Your baby wants in, right? Your doggy.
No, he's
Your neighbor cat.
no. This is mine. He wants to be fed again, but he just had food. He's just naughty.
No, he wants mommy's attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm an animal lover. You know, I always bring them up on screen. My poor audience. Anyhow, Sagittarius, you can help other people get their finances, their beliefs, their principles together. Mm-hmm. And you can help them financially as you transform before their eyes. Beautiful. Capricorn, now you're putting your attention on other people, your partners. If you don't have one, get out there and find one. They're waiting for you. Aquarius, now is the time to get busy at work. Take all of the spiritual information you received on the solar eclipse of December 26th and put it to use on the job. So simple. Now you see how they work in pairs. And Pisces, you've been a friend. You've served. And now it's time to party. Your children, if they're around you, well, even if they're not, are going to want your attention. Put that lampshade on your head and start dancing. Okay, so we are now ready because these eclipses are going to be strongest. Let's see, December, January, March, April, and May of 2020. All right. Second half of 2020. I'm not going to go over anything else because it's just too interesting. We have a Mercury-Venus tag team going on. We're going through the retrograde Mercury right now. I have to laugh because, you know, I'm just typical. Those of us who know just blame everything on Mercury retrograde. Because it's true. Okay, starting May 12th, Venus, the planet of love and money and beauty, goes retrograde. But we've got the shadow about 2 weeks ahead. So let's just say the very end of April, beginning of May, Venus goes retrograde. It feels just like a Mercury retrograde. It's not limited to love and money. Okay. It goes direct on June 25th. Now, I got to tell you that in the middle of that, we've got 2 eclipses in June. Mm-hmm. So we have all the confusion of Venus retrograde, then going direct, and the change in energies where you want to just fasten your seatbelt with these eclipses. But wait, there's more. Mercury, while Venus is still retrograde, goes retrograde. And I'm not even going to bother with the dates. Well, I will. June 18th, Mercury goes retrograde. So there's an overlap between Venus and Mercury, both retrograde. One wasn't enough. 2 eclipses on top of that weren't enough. Mercury. Okay, so I'm getting all confused now, but Mercury finally goes direct July 12th. You're going to add 2 weeks to that. And in July, on the 5th, we have the 3rd eclipse of the summer. So let's just say during the summer, Mercury and Venus tag team retrograde overlap. 3 eclipses. You know, when I don't like to watch boxing or fighting matches, I just can't do it. When when a boxer hits the other boxer on one side of the face and then comes right back on the other and hits him, it's like we're getting sucker punched all over the place. But wait, there's more. After all these double tag team stuff and the 3 eclipses come along, Mercury does, oh, I see what it is. Mercury goes direct retrograde June 18th and direct July 12th. We have an eclipse July 15th. I cannot read my own handwriting. See, that's the problem. I could just learn to print. Okay. And Mercury goes direct on July 12th. Yay, 2 weeks later, no more shadow. But the July eclipses are strongest in June, July, August, September, October, and November. Guess what? In September, Mars, the planet of action, goes retrograde. And many of you have been watching Mars go retrograde over the years. Energy flatlines. Nothing happens. No energy. It's like Teflon. Nothing sticks. Nothing's happening. And then Mercury goes retrograde October 14th, if I read right in that time period, right around then, if I can read my own handwriting correctly. And it goes direct November 3rd. But wait, Mars finally goes direct November 14th. Mm-hmm. So even though Mercury's unsettled, Mars says, okay, I think I'll help the planet. I'll move forward and get some energy going. In the middle of all this, Mercury goes retrograde, as I said, mid-October and direct November 3rd. Here in the United States, we have presidential election, November 3rd. You think those ballots are going to be just a teeny bit confused? And then November 30th, we have an eclipse. When I say we, I mean the whole world. The second one, solar eclipse, December 14th. People are not going to know which end is up. I'm not speaking just of one country. I'm talking about the world. We will not know who to believe. We will not know what to believe because the news is going to be all crazy. And that's what I am totally concerned about. In the United States, the presidential election, I've already predicted it. It's on, and I'll verbalize it in a minute in case people haven't watched my YouTube channel. There is so much going on, not just in my country, but all over the world with leaders who are not honest. How's that for being PC? And so there, a change is a coming, absolutely. November 3rd, here in the States, we have the election. And back in Thanksgiving of 2018, I couldn't stand it. I had to do Trump's chart to see if he was going to be elected. I use a diurnal chart. It's a special predictive tool. It is always accurate if the birth time is accurate. And what it says is, if he is physically in either New York or Washington, D.C., he will lose. No question about it.
Mm-hmm.
Major loss. Anywhere else, all bets are off. And Trump is unpredictable. He has Uranus in his 10th house. So that's the forecast I'm giving. Now, of course, he's under scrutiny, shall we say, for illegal I don't even want to go there because it's negative. So we've got 13 months. And during this time, the entire world, starting in May, the end of April, and going right through of 2020, right till the end, we've got retrogrades on retrogrades on retrogrades, eclipses. And on the day of the election in the United States, which is one of the leading countries, which affects the rest of the world. Financially, we're talking about, financial as well as peace versus war. And of course, our elections have been hacked. We know that for a fact. I'm doing a lot of rhyming today. Have you noticed? Anyhow, that's what's going on. I welcome your comments.
Yeah. So in other words, we will have a lot of interesting energies in 2020.
Beautifully put.
But in the end, it is up to us how we ride out those energies, huh?
Oh, yes. Absolutely. Which is why I was sitting on my couch in my living room. I have a wall of glass. It's 15 feet high, 20 feet high at its highest point, and about, 12 feet at its lowest. And it came to me so clearly that this is the preparation time for all light workers right now. Put down the remote, decide what you want to do. You can have it any way you want. And be aware that your mind is going to give you all the reasons why you can't. It will do that as you're falling asleep, probably, when you're in a great space and it says to you, let's talk about what you really think you're able to do this year. That type of thing. You can do anything you want to do. Even if you have obstacles, even if you have a health issue, a financial issue, an emotional issue, a bratty child issue, it doesn't matter. Nothing can stop a made-up mind. And every one of us has a dream about what we would love. I say every one of us. Those of us on the path have a dream of how we want to serve our planet. Maybe not planet, maybe city, maybe country. It doesn't matter how we want to be of service. And I say, do a swan dive into that dream and hang on to it and live it in your own mind, in your own heart, in your own soul, because now is the time to do it. And I always say to people at this point, if not you, who? If not when, now. And this is why I'm going to be offering specials at the beginning of, the end of this year. Just realized I better get that ready to go up on my YouTube channel. Just realized what day it was. But the second, and 2020. Are you a healer? Are you, most people are who are on the path. Are you a reader of some sort? Are you a psychic reader or palmist? Do you do numerology, the tarot, astrology? I'm doing webinars now. I don't know if I told you this, to teach people how to be an astrologer, to teach astrology the way I know it, because I've seen a lot of people who have a little bit of knowledge of astrology, but they don't have the full picture. Probably because they're not as old as I am and they haven't practiced as long. But I started studying astrology in 1966, so I have a few
years under your belt.
Yeah. And I know how to explain it in a way that is easy. So I'm really letting out all the stops, because the world needs, not just needs everybody, needs you and what you can do to make a difference, to make the difference that you always wanted to make. Here in Atlanta, Georgia, where I live, we have had some very interesting people running for office, some very interesting elections where it was perfectly clear that the 30,000 ballots were stolen. Perfectly clear. It was in the news. Everybody's talking about it. And the best candidate did not get the job because her opposition took the ballots. We know that. It's not alleged.
Yeah.
That it's known. There was another woman who, well, let me do the positive. Here in
All
Georgia,
elections are rigged.
yes, and hacked.
Yeah.
And women, of course, are stepping forward. I was very tickled to notice that the day after Trump took office, there was a women's march all over the world.
Yeah, but that was phony as well. That
Well, you know what? It spoke to my heart.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But honestly, Maxine, no matter how you look at it, there is no solution within the system.
And that's the truth.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying, everyone step forward, create your own world, work either within the system or create a new one. And groups are forming. I just joined a group, a relatively new group called Raising the Vibe. It's here in Atlanta, it's local. It is comprised of the most loving, creative people I've ever known. I've looked at their charts. They're truly loving. Venus is so prominent. And I feel like I've come home. And there are groups like this, I'm sure, all over the world. Now, in war-torn countries, I don't know, because those people are simply surviving.
Yeah.
They are true victims of the ego for power, you know, the need for power of the leaders and the hatred and enmity that has gone on for years. So love must rise up. It must.
Yeah.
So that's the way, that's my approach. And so, of course, I'm doing everything I know how to contribute to that.
Okay. Yeah, but the most important thing to me is we do not have to be the punching ball of those energies. We actually have a choice how to write them out. Be prepared in your mind. Funny enough, I have that very often, especially around December, where I feel very weird energies coming in. And I might find myself with weird sleep patterns. I usually do not have any problem with sleep. Yeah, wait, I have to stop this for a while. So I'm back. Very sorry about that. Got a cat food delivery very late in the evening. What can I do? Mercury retrograde. Okay, anyway, weird sleep patterns. And then sometimes I wake up and I'm totally angry. I don't know why, but I just feel, and that's not me. Yeah, and that is, sometimes that lasts the entire December. And then I know, okay, and then when I monitor myself during the day, then I know, okay, yeah, weird energy is coming in.
Yes. And it really ties in with what you said. If you know what to expect, if you know, you can ride it out. It makes it easier. It's if you don't know, that it's very strong and overwhelming and sometimes depressing because you don't know why you're feeling the way you feel. Although I would much rather feel anger than depression.
Yeah.
You know, depression is anger turned inward at yourself. I'd rather shoot it out there and let them fight over it.
Yeah,
But
because once I notice it, I start laughing at myself.
that's the way to
Because I
live.
know it is not me. There is no reason. I mean, come on, you just opened your eyes 3 seconds ago. How can you be angry?
And if it's a dream, you're having the same one every December.
Okay, so thank you very much for letting us know what's coming up with the
Thank you for
eclipses.
inviting me to be your guest.
Oh,
And I hope that if any of your viewers have questions, you just go to MaxineTaylor.com. We'll talk.
okay. Okay, so thank you very much for this, and everybody stay safe and sound, ride out the energies, nothing to fear. All the best, and bye-bye.